Hi guys, welcome back to ISO 20 Tutoring. Today we're going to be going through a couple of questions on linear simultaneous equations. And when I say simultaneous equations, I'm talking about two different equations that have the same letters inside them. So we've got x and y, and we've got x and y in both of these equations. So the first thing that I want to do in this problem, which says solve the simultaneous equations x plus 7y equals 64 and x plus 3y equals 28. It also says do not use trial and improvement. So trial and improvement is basically just using as many different numbers as you possibly can to substitute into x and y and doing your best to get 64 and 28. And I just really don't recommend using trial and improvement just because it's so time consuming, and in the stress of the exam it's very difficult to go wrong by doing that method. So instead I want to show you a certain method called solving these simultaneous equations by elimination. So the first thing that I want to do in this question is that I want to see, are there two terms which are the same in both equations? So I've got x which is the same as x, so that makes life a lot easier for us, okay? Because we can literally just subtract equation 2 from equation 1. So we can do x minus x is 0, and so we'd just be left with the y terms and a number. So we get 7y minus 3y is 4y, and then we also get 64 minus 28, which is 36. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write 4y equals 36. I'm going to label this equation 3. It's so important that you label your equations 1, 2, and 3, just because it makes the solving of this equation so much easier. So we can say equation 3 is equation 1 minus equation 2. And when you're looking over your work at the end of the exam, this kind of method of numbering each equation, as I said before, it makes life a lot easier. So we've got 4 times y equals 36. So I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. So I get y equals 9, and that is my first answer. So next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to sub y equals 9 into, well, I could sub it into this equation or this equation. So just to make it easier for ourselves, we'll sub it into equation 2. So we can say that x plus 3y equals 28. So I'm going to sub that into equation 2. So when I do that, I get x plus 3 times 9 equals 28. So I'll just solve that. So x plus 3 times 9 is 27 equals 28. And so just subtract 27 from both sides, and I get x equals 1. So x equals 1 and y equals 9 are my two answers. So let's move on to the next question, which is very similar. Again, it says solve the simultaneous equations. 2x plus 5y equals 39, y minus 4x equals minus 1. So do not use trial and improvement. So first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to label both equations, equation 1 and equation 2, and I am going to use substitution just for a change. And so when I'm using substitution, what I'm doing here is I want to make one of these letters the subject of the formula and literally just plug it in to the other equation. So I can write, I want to rearrange equation 2 just to make it something that we can plug into equation 1. So if I add 4x on both sides, I can write y equals 4x minus 1, And so I'm going to write that that's the same as equation 2, just so that I can look back at that at the end of the exam. And it makes sense to me. So now that I've got this all on its own, I'm going to write sub y into equation 1. And so I get 2x plus 5 times, instead of y this time, I'm going to put in 4x minus 1 equals 39. So I'm going to get 2x plus 20x, 5 times minus 1 is minus 5, equals 39. So 2x plus 20x is 22x. And then add the 5 on both sides, I get 44. So x equals 22, equals 2, sorry. Because 44 divided by 22 is 2. So next thing that I want to do, now that I've found x equals 2, I just want to sub x equals 2 into any one of these equations really, but just because we've got 3 looking nice there, to equation 3, we get y equals 4 times x minus 1. We get 4 times 2 minus 1. So y equals 7. So we get x equals 2 and y equals 7. So hopefully that helped, guys. Let us know if you have any questions. And as always, if you could like, comment and subscribe, that would help a lot. Cheers.